Okay, welcome to my YouTube channel. Your teacher, Mr. Nkandu, commonly known as Mr. A+. Okay, so today I've come with this question on the board. And as you can see, we are looking at civic education. Okay, so this question is driven from a past paper, 2023, section B. Okay, so quickly let me go through the question and explain. Okay, so how does the principle of separation of powers contribute to good governance? So want to know the principle of separation of powers contributes to good governance. So here, the other way, they are telling us to say, let us try to come up with the good part of separation of powers, okay, that can eventually contribute to good governance. So where I have put the stars, that is where the solutions are starting from. So we are saying the principle of separation of powers ensures that the three branches of government, the executive, legislation and judicial operate independently. Okay, so that is separation of power. So when we are talking about that, probably we are talking about the legislature, judiciary, and the executive. So these three things, arms of government, should work independently. That is separation of power. Okay, so now this prevents any one branch from becoming too powerful. So meaning that when they are working uh, independently, it will actually prevent uh, one of these to be more powerful than the other. Okay, that's what it means. So it's very, very important that it usually should work on its own jurisdiction. Then executive also should operate on its own jurisdiction. Then also legislature, just like that. Okay, so that's how they are supposed to operate. Okay, so now uh, it is also added that thereby promoting accountability, transparency, and checks and balances. So when it works independently, it actually provide or rather promote accountability. For example, whatever the judiciary, the executive, and legislature they are doing on their own, they are going to hold accountable to whatever they are doing. So it is going to promote that accountability. Why? Because there is separation of power. Hence, that will contribute to good governance. Okay. Then it ensures that no single entity can abuse power, which is essential for good governance. So the separation of power also ensures that no single entity that can abuse what? Power, which is essential to what? Good governance. So if these three, they are not working independently, there is no separation of power. It means they are going to abuse. Okay, for example, if executive outweigh in terms of power these other two arms of government, it will actually now disadvantage. Okay, it is going to abuse now the power. Therefore, we are not going to have a good governance as a country. Okay, so separation of power, very, very important. So this is how we can explain, okay, the principles of separation of power, how they can do what? Contribute to good what? Governance. So from there, we go to question number 2. Explain how corruption in Zambia is addressed by the following acts. Remember, this is section B. So section B contains 40 marks. Okay. So within the section B there are a lot of questions. There are about 4 of them. So we are going to tackle 2. Then those of you who follows me on the on my YouTube channel, you are going to learn the rest. Okay, but for today we are going to look at it. The first one, how does the principle of separation of powers contribute to the good governance? Then the other one, explain how corruption in Zambia is addressed by the following acts. So how corruption in Zambia addressed by the following acts? You know, for corruption to be addressed in a very wonderful way, there should be some acts that should be implied, okay, or applicable. Okay, so one of them, we are looking at the Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. How does this Penal Code, Chapter 87 of Laws of Zambia, contribute to address corruption in our country, Zambia? So the answer there is saying the Penal Code criminalize corrupt practices. So the Penal Code Chapter 87 of Laws of Zambia, it's there to criminalize the corruption practices. Whoever is doing corruption, that Penal Code will visit that person. Okay, to do what? To criminalize that person. Okay, so now such as bribery, those who involve in bribery, embezzlement, and abuse of office. So that Penal Code automatically will visit them. That's why even these who are occupying a highest office, they need to be very careful. They should not be doing corruption, because the moment they will leave those offices and immunity being lifted, it means that Penal Code, in case those leaders were doing corruption whilst in office, that Penal Code will actually visit them, will follow them. Okay, so because of this Penal Code, corruption is being addressed in our country. Then it provides legal grounds for prosecution or prosecuting individuals involved in corruption. That is the work of that Penal Code, Chapter 87 of the Laws of Zambia. It provides legal grounds for prosecuting individuals involved in what? Corruption. Then B, we also have Financial Intelligence Act number 47 of the Laws of Zambia. So now, what about this one? Financial Intelligence Act number 47 of 2010. How does it address the corruption in our country? So this act establishes the Financial Intelligence Center, which is abbreviated by FIC, which monitors financial transactions. So this department monitors the financial transaction in the country, okay, to detect and prevent money laundering and other financial crimes related to what? To corruptions. So that is the Financial Intelligence Act number 46 of 2010. So it is also there to address corruption, more especially those who involves now in money laundering. Okay, like these ministers that we have those ministers who are fond of doing that, but this act is there actually to prevent that, because it always monitors the transactions, the financial transaction in the country, as well as to detect, okay, to detect and prevent money laundering. That is the work of this act called Financial Intelligence Act number 46 of 2010. Okay, so this is what I wanted us to discuss as of today. So kindly continue following me for more exclusive videos under Civic Education. For those of you who are visiting my YouTube channel for the first time, kindly subscribe so that you can learn a lot. Okay, thank you so very much for now.